the big three retirement elections. When you go to retire, there'll be three decisions that you have to make. A couple more, but these are the big ones. Number one, what do I do with my FEGLI, group life insurance? Number two, if I'm married, my husband or wife, what do I elect for survivor benefit? And number three, what do I do with my TSP? Let's tackle FEGLI, group life insurance. Okay, first thing we want to talk about, your basic group life insurance will be able to be kept with a zero premium at age 65 if you do a 75% reduction. So let me show you an illustration. Suppose you have $100,000 in income here, and that's the benefit for your basic group life insurance. If you reduce by 75%, you're going to be left with $25,000. But again, your premium will be a whopping zero at age 65. How does that work? Well, when you make your 75% reduction election, it'll squeeze down at 65 by 75%. It'll take 50 months to do it. But then you'll be left with that reduced amount. In our illustration, 25 grand. But again, your premium ends at 65. Those options, if you try to keep them, they become massively expensive. For some of you, you may want to look at a 50% reduction if you're not that well off in your health. You can look at FEGLI calculator, and you'll find a calculator there. It's not always easy to see what happens in retirement. Okay, that's number one. Number two, survivor benefit. Let's say you've got a $2,000 pension. When you go to retire, they're going to ask you if you want to provide a benefit for your husband or wife. You have to reduce by 10%, and then you'll be left with a net of $1,800. In this case, with a $2,000 pension as an illustration. And then if you died, you'll leave them half of your benefit, or $1,000. But again, it's a reduction of 10%, or $200. You could also get a 25% survivor benefit, which will leave your spouse with just $500. As you can see there, 25%. And instead of reducing by $200 over here, you're only going to reduce your pension by $100. Those are your two survivor benefit options, or you get your spouse nothing at all. This is an election that your spouse is going to influence, and they have to notarize their own signature. I would suggest you start coming up with a plan well ahead of time so that you both know what the plan is. And if you did pass away, how will you create the lost income for your spouse? Whether it be from a 50% survivor benefit or a supplement in the real world, the outside financial world. The third election you have to make is TSP. Guess what? The short answer is you don't have to make any election at all. Even when the packet asks you, what are you going to do with your TSP? You can just sit and not make any sudden changes if you haven't formulated a written retirement income plan yet. But get that plan so you can establish for certainty that you have enough income in retirement and that your money will last as long as you do the rest of your life. How's that for fair? Yeah. TSP, it's a moving animal, and you might want to keep some of it behind in retirement to create some income there too. That's why the L income has 70% G fund to give you stability while you're taking out withdrawals. So if the stock market falls, you don't hurt it even more. I know the TSP is getting such modest returns on the G fund, but still, there's a lot to consider. This is Charles Zama, empowering you with financial ideas.